Radical. Radical. Radical.
I don't know if you can see that right there, but that dent, that little circular dent, you know what was sitting there? Something quite large and something quite heavy. I teased this off a couple weeks ago, and not only do I use it as my a dumbbell, an impromptu dumbbell right there, this is also apparently used in car audio for bass. This is the Kicker L7 10-inch subwoofer. This is my favorite design of this subwoofer. Now, how did I come across this? Well, a buddy of mine has a Purple Scion XB, and he had a system in it. And he let me listen to the system, and I didn't think it sounded that good, but, you know, I didn't want to tell him it didn't sound that good, right? This right here was the sub he had. I didn't believe this was what he was running. He was even running a Kicker amplifier on it. But it was in the biggest piece of I hope he doesn't listen to this. It was in the biggest piece of shit box I had ever seen. Okay, first off, the box was way too small for this sub. It was maybe this wide, no longer than this table. It was a bandpass box. Alright? I do not like bandpass boxes. Not for this particular sub, or really any sub for that matter, in car audio applications. I always go with sealed, or I always go with vented. Not ported, slot vented, okay? Now I bought the box from him because, you know, he told me there's a Kicker L7 in there. So I got it from him, the box and the sub, for $100. I thought to myself, maybe I can get it to sound better than it did in his vehicle. No dice. It sounded terrible. It sounded atrocious, all right? So quickly I told him, you know what? I will pay you $100. He gave it to me to try out before I paid him. I said, I will give you $100 for this sub if you take it out of the box. And he said, really, you want the sub without the box? I said, the box is useless to me. All right, I want this sub out. And yeah, so here we are. I got this, and I'm really happy to have this. Tell you a little bit, I'm not going to go into exhaustive detail about this sub and what makes it special. First off, the build. Okay, the build to Kicker subs in general is really good. But a way you can tell a quality sub is by what they use in the construction. This is a very rigid polypropylene cone. I don't know if I said that correctly. Polypropylene cone. And this is what you want here. This is a, I think, Santoprene rubber surround. All right? So, yeah. You don't want any paper cones. You don't want any foamish type surrounds on the subwoofer. Okay for some small car audio speakers that you use in your doors, but for a subwoofer to handle a lot of power as this one does, you want that. Okay? Now, I like the logo here. I like the design, the surround of this. Like I said, I love the design of this. The new Kicker L7 subs, they're not as flashy. And I've always liked flashy car audio when you're talking about amplifiers and subs, because I want to show it off. Okay, part of it is actually just showing it off beyond the sound, all right? I mean, the sound is, don't get me wrong here, the most important thing you want in any part of your car audio components. But, you know, part of the reason is you're trying to kind of, show off. That makes this perfect for show off Saturdays, okay? Now I'm going to turn this over here. I want to be careful not to damage the front of it very gently, okay? Look at that. On the back, it even has the Solobaric icon, okay? I don't know if the new ones have this, but this is on the back here. This is kind of pointless on the back, though, because most people, 99.9% of people, are going to be, unless you're doing some kind of a weird plexiglass design, you're not going to be seeing the back. But I just love the attention to detail there. Now, as you can see here, I'm not going to go in exhaustive detail on how to wire this. This is a dual voice coil. But if you head on over to my Patreon, I will tell you in detail, if you have one of these subs, how to wire it. Okay? Right? But see, I think this one is wired in parallel, which is wiring it down. This is a dual 4 ohm. Yeah, it's a dual 4 ohm, and you can wire it down to 2 ohm or up to 8 ohm. Now, why would you want to wire it up to 8 ohm? If you're running 4 of these fucking bad boys, you know, you might go deaf if you run 4 of these, but I like that they have lots of different wiring options for these. Now, what am I going to do? Where am I going to put this sub? Of course, subs go inside of something, right? So what am I going to put this in? What kind of box? On the next Show Off Saturday, I'm going to show you the box I ordered for the subwoofer. Wait a second. Wait a second. I think I hear the UPS guy. Hold on a second. Hey man, is that my box? You got my box? Fuck yeah, man. Fuck yeah. Got my box. Yeah. Sure buy this fucking box, boy. And this is a true unboxing. This is the most accurate unboxing on YouTube. I'm unboxing a box. It's a box in a box. It's a box in a box. Look at that box. That's a nice box. So you see there, it's got the slot vent on the side. Ain't nobody want no damn ports. Oh, another thing I hated about this other box that the sub was in, not only was it a bandpass box, but it didn't have the slot vent. It had a big-ass port. Like a needlessly huge port for a small box. So, I don't know, whoever built that box, I don't know, they just had no idea what was appropriate for a Kicker L7-inch subwoofer. Alright, here's what I'm going to do when I install this. Okay. This is how I'm going to put it in the vehicle. A lot of people either run it like this, where the port's on the left, or the port's on the right. Now, what I'm going to do is be a little different, have it right here. And I take out the back seat in my vehicle, so whenever the bass is pounding, it's like air conditioning. That air comes up to the front of the vehicle. Again, it's going to be a Patreon exclusive when I do this install in my vehicle, alright? The final part, part 3 of this, is showing you all what this looks like in a box. And by the way, this box I got from, I think, Hi-Fi Sound Connection for about a little under 50 bucks. Okay, I'm pleasantly surprised at the build quality of this box. And the one they show in the picture has a really light gray carpet, but this is a darker gray carpet which will match the sub. Alright, part 3. There you go. How about that? How about that? That looks really nice in that box, don't it? One thing I like about this square design is it lines up perfectly with the square vent. Okay? And in general, I used to be against square subwoofers. I like the round subwoofer design in dual applications. But in a single application, alright, even the double doesn't look that bad. But in a single application, for a single sub, this is ideal. Alright, some of you might worry, well Rick, it's a 10-inch sub. Alright, I've had 10s before. For any real sound, they say you need a pair of subwoofers. There's a testimonial on crutchfield.com. This is a discontinued sub, by the way. There's a testimonial by somebody that had 2 CVRs. I had 2 CVRs actually circa maybe 2009. There's a testimonial somebody had that said this single sub is right on the level with 2 CVRs. Okay? I mean, this ain't no fucking joke. These square subs, these L7s ain't no fucking joke. Alright? So, yeah, what you think there? Really nice, huh? Really nice for $100 and 50 bucks. This $150 setup is going to be matched probably with a kicker amp. That's about, maybe, the burst sheet says 550 watts. One last thing that's really cool about this is the L7. You see the perforated L7 logo there? This is technically supposed to be mounted with that on the bottom. But because it's a L and it's a 7, you can flip this shit around, and that's one thing a lot of people overlook on this design. How cool that is. Now, what does L7 mean? Fuck if I know. Somebody look it up on the internet and let me know. So there it is. This is just a beautiful subwoofer, in a very appropriate box. It's a box in a box! It's a box in a box! It's a box in a box! And now I'm going to take the box out of the box